Name is Dirk Boogerd. I have a dairy goat farm with my wife and 4 kids, just outside of Embro, Ontario. It's between Woodstock and Stratford. And we have farmed goats for the last 13 years. Started in 2008. We run about 120 acres of farmland. We grow our own hay. We purchase in all our feed. We purchase in all our bedding, and have been growing since 2008. We are currently milking around just under 500 animals and looking to expand in the near future, or in the future anyways. And we started looking at a way for me and my family to stay in agriculture. Goats seem to be the one area in agriculture that didn't have supply management, relative low input to start off an operation. And we were able to renovate a broiler barn relatively easily to accommodate the goats, and have a couple of buildings on farm that we can easily adapt for, that we've adapted for goats quite easily. So input costs have been relatively low compared to other sectors in agriculture, and it was certainly one that sparked our interest as a goats. And the goat industry has certainly done very well in the last 10 years. The main factor, the main issues, or the main things that we face in the industry, myself included, is the input cost. Currently, it certainly has risen on farm 30 to 40%. It's surpassing the profits that we can make as farmers on the dairy goat side. At times, it has really impacted the profitability for dairy goat farms, and other sectors in agriculture has obviously been impacted by the input cost increases of fuel, fertilizers, feeds, and so on. So that is one of the main ones. Another impact for our sector has been affordable and accurate milking equipment with reliable and with service and tech support that is there for the industry. There's been a bit of a lull with companies that have been able to supply us with accurate and affordable equipment. We've piggybacked off the dairy cow sector, but goats are not cows, so we have to really get specialized equipment for the goats, and that is tough to get at times. The third point maybe would be the lack of unity in our industry as a whole. We are an open market, open sector. Like I said, we don't have supply management, so we do rely on demands and supply to drive our prices up or down, and to be able to fill our markets. So the lack of unity is another big one. A majority of our ideas as farmers as a whole, as an industry, I think, we rely on other producers. We, as a dairy goat sector and as a goat sector as a whole, we have to be innovative on our own. A lot of ideas do come from Europe and New Zealand, for instance. They are a few years ahead of us in the industry. So we do get some of the industry information from Europe, some of the innovations, some of the progression that they see in Europe and in New Zealand that has really benefited us here in Ontario. The biggest innovation that we've had on my farm is handheld portable ultrasound. It is utilized by myself on the farm. It has made a difference for me to be able to group my animals according to pregnancy stages, check for cull animals before I send them off to market. I can scan those animals roughly at about 40 to 45 days of pregnancy. So that's really one of the innovations that has come from Europe as well. They do have them here in North America, and it's certainly there's more than enough producers in Ontario that have their own device, and it's certainly one of those aspects of the industry that we've been able to expand upon within the market, or within the industry rather, and I guess become better producers and better managers on farm, utilizing the knowledge from the pregnancies. There's a couple of areas where I think more research could be done on. The correlation between kid development and the doe, knowing what the doe pregnancy, the duration, was there any issues, was there any concerns with the pregnancy, with the kidding, with the birth of the kid, so any correlation in that, and production later on for that doe in particular as well, and to see where that correlates with the kid health, kidding ease, and performance. So another aspect would be colostrum management, the development of the kids. Is there blood work that we could do that could see the quality of colostrum? Does that have an impact on the blood proteins or anything like that in the kid development as well? So just in the overall health of the kid. Another aspect could be the ventilation as a whole for the industry, and particularly for goats, in all different categories of the goats. We have the young stocks, so the kids, as well as the mature does, the milking does, and the buck kids, anybody raised for meat. What is the ideal temperature? What is the ideal humidity? Just air quality overall, and what is the best setup for that as well. Pregnancy toxemia seems to be a continuing battle for producers in our sector. What more correlation can we find with feeds, with remedies, as well as like what kind of other prevention we can offer for producers. I think to get the results out into practice to producers, to host events. I think in-person events is best for farmers to educate the producers. Hands-on education is something that producers in general really benefit from. So that is, I think, the best way to get that research back into the hands of the producers, to show the value of that research that has been done, is to have in-person meetings, in-person gatherings to show firsthand. Advice would be for researchers to really know our industry, know the goat industry, have an understanding of current market events a little bit, know goats as a whole, right? So we're our own species. The goats are their own species. We're not to be compared to any other species that are out there in the agriculture sector. Really know the goats, and timing. Timing is key. I think our goat industry is very seasonal still. So, for instance, don't ask for participation in, kidding for any kind of research in mid-July, because there's very little farmers that will actually do have kidding going on in that time of year. So it's the timing, it's the understanding of the current market. We are an open market as a goat industry, and the return on investment is very important for us. So we do play into the world market with supply and demand, and that has a big effect on our profits, which then turns into that return on investment. So it's the cost that is the barrier most of the time.